everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome from across this gorgeous planet. We are one church, many paths, one mountain, where our mission is what Barbara Marx Hubbard and Dr. Mark Goffney call the planetary awakening in love through a unique self symphony. And together, we declare that the last day of the old face of evolution is honored as the first day of the new face of creation. I am Christina Amelong, the co-executive producer of One Church, along with Kirsten Zohar, and I am delighted to be here with you today. I welcome all the new people. Please do share that you are new in the chat box. We want to hear from you. When you do chat to everyone by checking that your chat settings say all panelists and attendees and not just all panelists. Use the chat function to say hi, to let us know where you're from, and to resonate the Dharma. In One Church, we are connected, we are whole, and we're expressions of the entire process of creation. We are activating a new humanity and we are awakening as a new species, Homo Amor, the fulfillment of Homo sapiens. We are a church, a synagogue, a mosque, a temple, a zendo. We're all of it. No one is excluded, everyone is included, and we come together to attune to the evolutionary impulse awakening within us. Welcome home, everyone. We're so delighted to be with you today in week 179 of One Church. Let everyone know about One Church. We're doing this primarily through word of mouth. Barbara Marx Hubbard talked about each of us having a family of 10 here in church. I love that idea, each of us tending our evolutionary family. Join us in our weekly One Church work table on Zoom to help us grow church. Put your email in the chat and I will email you. Our One Church work table is on Tuesdays at noon Pacific time, 2 o'clock Central time, and 8 Central European time this week. Leadership around church is a sacred opportunity. On YouTube, we are One Church, Many Paths, One Mountain. On Facebook, we are facebook.com, onechurch.world. And right now, we are live on Facebook. Take a moment, look at your notifications, and share the live link on your Facebook page. And hello to everyone who is tuning in on Facebook right now. After church, we will send you an email to invite your friends and family. Forward that email. Look at it right after church and forward it to people that you know. If you haven't already, spend time on our new community website, www.onechurch.world. On the top menu of the home page or the bottom of each page, you'll find our membership link. With that, I give you a little bit of what to expect over this next hour. We begin with a Dharma recap of the teachings in last week's church. Then Dr. Mark sets our intention, and then David resonates the code that we are working with. After that, we move into prayer, followed by our sermons for the day, and then we close at the top of the hour by bringing everyone on for our goodbyes. The entire Dharma recap is a string of direct citations from Dr. Mark and Barbara from the past week's church. What I do is I find the most beautiful sentences that they shared and bring them here as a recapitulation. Every week for several years, Dr. Mark wrote what he called evolutionary love codes. Mark and Barbara studied the codes together, comparing them often with Barbara's own 52 codes for conscious self-evolution. These codes grew out of Dr. Mark and Barbara's radical commitment over 100 collective years, crystallizing the new story of humanity into these sentences. Quote, evolving the source code of consciousness and culture, which is the source code of love, unquote. Each church is a standalone, and every week's church builds on the week before. One church, many paths, one mountain is radically committed to telling the new story. So here goes the Dharma recap from last week. Evolutionary surprise is the quality of divine love. The call of evolution itself. Why should out of nothing, out of no thing, why should the infinite birth the finite? We are willing to be surprised. Matter appears and all the laws are in the first nanoseconds of the Big Bang, completely in place. And then matter surprises us and gives birth to life. And then life surprises us and gives birth to self-reflective, self-representing mind, the human being. There are hidden miracles that hide in order. There's regularity in the world. There's incredible symmetry and incredible regularity through the order of the world, the beauty of the order, like the cell where every piece has to operate with every other piece in such precision and such dazzling symmetry and beauty. Darwin didn't even know that this existed. Reality is a huge surprise. The other surprises are coming. The climax of humanity into a new possibility, what we call homo amor, or a new way of being. We come to an understanding that the reason biology emerges from physics is because biology lives in the future. We actually feel the being of an eternity underneath the present. That's the be here now, our eternal now. We fully receive. We trust the goodness of the past. We trust our ability to transform it. We did devastate our ability to locate ourselves in the universe, but we are finding and disclosing a new story in which there is genuine human nobility, which is rooted in the very nature of the cosmos. The call of evolution itself. We can locate ourselves in the wider field of spirit, constant creation, the depths of the quantum vacuum. Reality is being constantly regenerated. There's more. There's the call of the future. There's the memory of the future. That's what hope is. Hope is a memory of the future. We are willing to be reality surprised, to be more than we ever thought we could be, to be deeper than we ever thought we could be. We are willing to be more beautiful than we ever thought possible, more true than we ever imagined, more good, more stunning, more powerful. It's a surprise, all right, when you bring together disparate elements of yourself into a new whole you. When you transcend routine and when you become the surprise of the cosmos. It's from this place of surprise and this place of intimacy, we generate evolutionary emergence and literally love the new moment open. And with that, I invite us to more deeply enter into the holy and sacred space of One Church. And I turn my word to you, beloved Dr. Mark Goffney.
Oh my God. Welcome, everyone. And welcome from around the world. And we are in this moment, and this entire broadcast, right, is a Corona prayer. A prayer for this moment in time. And I want to ask you, if you can, for a moment, just to shut your eyes. Some things we can see with our eyes open, and Other things we can see so much better, right, with our eyes closed. Who are we in this moment? Who are we when we become afraid? How do we make friends with fear? What's the invitation of this moment? What's the demand of this moment? What's happening underneath the headlines? How do we come together and hold hands at this time of social distancing? What's the root of the pandemic? What's the radical response we need at this moment of intense pain? We know that many people that are alive in this moment may well not be alive in a month from now, or 2 months from now, or 3 months from now. And those people, and we don't know who among us is among them, the elderly, those with prior conditions, the most poor with least available nutrition and therefore resilience, the most economically challenged by the radical anxiety of not being able literally to have basic necessities because of the direct effects of the pandemic. How do we actually move beyond ourselves and feel the broader field? How do we commit every outrageous act of love that we can in this moment? And how do we come together to tell the new story? Christina Emlon, the beautiful Dharma recapitulation of last week, that is the answer to the coronavirus. And we'll talk about it more deeply today. The coronavirus is a result not simply of this contagion of germs, right? It's the result of the failure of the contagion of love. And that's not words. Those are not fundamentalist or New Age slogans. It's actually the truth. And we'll talk about the word contagion and what it means. But we're here in this moment now. We're here to offer and to be a Corona prayer. We're here to respond to the fundamental failure of intimacy that is cause for the coronavirus, to heal and to be the healing, to be the transformation, to be a politics of evolutionary love. We're one church, and we're one synagogue, and we're one atheist center, and we're one secular humanist center. And there are no foreign viruses, right? We're one world, and we're one love, and we're one heart. And we're holding hands around the world. And at a time of social distancing, we're closer than close, right? Our hearts are more than naked. We love each other so much more than we even did yesterday. And we're here to, as we do at every time of crisis, and this is a crisis which portends, which is a dress rehearsal for the larger crises that actually lurk at the door that we've been talking about here in One Church, Many Paths, One Mountain for the last 3 years. The existential threats of various kinds. And we said that before the existential threat, there'll be catastrophic threat, which means millions of people could die, but the infrastructures will somehow get through. But that will then be followed by existential threat. And we'll talk about that and what that means and how we respond to it and why there actually is a response and why that response is directly related to who we be as individuals and who we be as community. Wow, what a moment. What a moment in which our hearts are terrified and yet our hearts are open and yet our hearts are filled with hope because we're drawn together by the future. We can't escape only into the timeless present of be here now. We can't escape just into models of the past, to restore the past and argue against the present. We actually are called by the future. Hope is a memory of the future. And we are together in our hearts. We are the office for the future. We are here to weave together in great acts of social synergy that which is already working worldwide, and to bring together sets of understandings and insights that weave together a new human and a new humanity. Homo amor, the fulfillment of Homo sapien, who is and has already contracted the virus of outrageous love. Outrageous love as the essential nature of who we are. Who are we? We are each of us unique configurations of intimacy, unique configurations of outrageous love. We are irreducibly needed and desired and loved and adored and chosen and recognized by all of reality. We need each other. We love each other. We know that to say I love you means I need you. And we are quaking with trepidation. Tears roll down our eyes. And yet at the same time, we are committed. We're committed with hope, and we're committed with joy, and we're committed with song. And we cry out of one side of our eyes and our face, and we laugh with exultant joy out of the other side, because we actually understand that we have the capacity to take this moment of fate and turn it into destiny. We have not only a covenant of fate together because we're threatened, but actually the threat reminds us of the no boundary consciousness. That's the essence of the coronavirus. There are no boundaries. There are no rich. There are no poor. There's human beings. There's animals. There's one life. There's one humanity. There's one gorgeous symphony of unique selves in which all of the cosmos is included. The coral reef at the bottom of the sea and the animals. And those 700,000 people in the United States who desperately need food stamps that we were about to take off of food stamps. And those 700,000 people who repeat themselves all over the world, no one's outside the circle, right? Does that make sense? Can you feel that with me? No one's outside the circle. Everyone's inside the circle. Wow. So let's join hands. All of us around the world. Can we hold each other's hands? All right, we're joining hands together. We're going to read the code with David, and we're going to be Corona prayer, and we're going to be the response, and we're going to be the transformation, and we're going to be the evolution of intimacy that's so radically demanded. And so we're going to do 2 sermons today. I'm going to do one, and I'm going to do the second one, as it were, with Barbara. I went for a walk yesterday, and I talked with Barbara and her continuity of consciousness about what we needed to say in the broadest sense. So we're going to talk personally, and we're going to talk about the meta, right? The largest picture, the personal and the global in this moment. Oh my God, I am ecstatic, urgently ecstatic, but ecstatic meaning beside myself, ecstasis, beside my small self. Be beside your small self. Step out of the narrow fear and feel the field. And in this field, there's love. And in this field, there's goodness. And in this field, there's truth. And in this field, there's beauty unlike we've ever tasted before as we come together. And we are the next stage of intimacy. We are the evolution of intimacy itself. Oh my God, what a delight, what an honor to be here with you from around the world. And I turned the word to David to resonate the code. Take us inside, David. Welcome.
Dr. Mark, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be here with you to recover from yesterday feeling isolated and alone, and feeling my heart open and feel connected, even though we seem so far away sometimes. So thank you so much. So this week's code is a direct response to this crisis. Crisis is an evolutionary driver. Our crisis is a birth. Every crisis is a crisis in intimacy. The ultimate crisis is a global intimacy disorder. The only way to heal the global crisis is not a restoration of intimacy, but an evolution of intimacy, the emergence of homo amor, unique self symphony, evolutionary intimacy. One more time. Crisis is an evolutionary driver. Feel how that's true for us right now. Our crisis is a birth. Every crisis is a crisis of intimacy. The ultimate crisis is a global intimacy disorder. The only way to heal a global crisis is not a restoration of intimacy, but an evolution of intimacy, the emergence of homo amor, unique self symphony, evolutionary intimacy. And I turn my word back to you, Dr. Mark.
Thank you, David. Friends, we're in celebration today. We're holding the fear, but we're going to make friends with the fear. We're not going to quash it because the fear is always there. And what's the fear, friends? I mean, let's just say what it is at its very core, right? The fear is a fear of death. The skull grins at the banquet. And friends, I want you to feel this, okay? Right? The fear of death is actually always there, but we ignore it. Or we think that it doesn't affect us. When 800,000 people are being killed in Rwanda, right, in a period of 100 days, almost every single person on this call who was aware of it vaguely from the headlines, life went on as usual because it didn't affect me. You get that? That itself is the core of the intimacy disorder, right? Am I okay? Do I have my supplies? Do I have my basic needs? And that's real, and we should take care of ourselves. And our drive to survive is actually an expression of self-love. I know I matter. And I've got to take care of myself and my closest friends and my children. But then we got to expand. And I got to feel, does my neighbor have basic supplies? Does the person down the street? Who's left out of the circle? When Rwanda happens and we fundamentally ignore it as 800,000 people are killed because it doesn't affect us, right? We incarnate this global intimacy disorder that lives at every level of society, right? Let's find each other. Let's feel each other. Let's feel each other's joy and let's feel each other's pain. And when we say no one's left out of the circle, what we mean is we're actually united in a shared story. And in that shared story, every human being is a unique self. And every human being is needed. And every child that's born all over the world knows, rich or poor, young or old, no boundary consciousness, doesn't matter when, where, how. Every child knows I've got a poem to write. I've got a song to sing. There's a way of being, laughing, loving, living in the world that's uniquely mine, and reality needs my service. Reality needs my quality of intimacy. Reality needs my gifts. And I'm not left out, right? Amor, its insides are lined with love. And we're just getting started today. And we want to break through to some new territory because crisis is an evolutionary driver. And every breakdown invites us to a breakthrough. And every crisis is a crisis of intimacy. So we're here to break through to the next level, to actually incarnate here this next level of intimacy. Okay? So let's just see if we can just find each other in the chat box and just cry it out. And what can we write? Let's just write, no one's left out of the circle. Right, that's it. Can we just start there? Right? No one is left out of the circle. Let's try it in the chat box. No one is left out of the circle. Right? Is that right? Who can write that? Right? And step inside. Right? No one's left out of the circle. Right? No one. Right? No one's left out of the circle. Can you feel that? Right? Pseudo-eros is when we blame someone. Those people did it. Right? And mad blessings to our president, but my dear friend, Donald, it's not a foreign virus. Brother, you missed the point. There are no boundaries. This is a moment of no boundary consciousness. We're not hunkering down as Americans. We're human beings. It's one love and it's one heart. And it's not about the stock market, stupid, right? It's about every human being who's breathing and living, right? And and is needed and is gorgeous and is stunning. No one's left out of the circle. Here it is. Ready? Let's do one more. You ready? Right? Okay, you ready to write one more? Let's just blow this into the world. Ready? There are no foreign viruses. And someone will show us how to spell foreign, because who knows, right? Who can write that, okay? There are no foreign viruses. Okay, can you feel that? There are no foreign viruses, right? There are no foreign viruses, right? That's the way we begin to heal. There's no one left out of the circle. Not one person, not one animal is left out of the circle. And we're going to talk about that today. When we talk about this evolutionary vision in Isaiah, that the lion, right, and the lamb and the wolf come and hang out together, right? We got to understand so deeply, we can't leave any suffering outside of the circle, right? Wow. When we leave suffering outside of the circle, then what happens is, instead of there being a virus of outrageous love, there's a contagion, right, that spreads, that reminds us, oh my God, friends, there are no boundaries, right? There are no particular countries. There are no economic classes. There is no caste system. There are no foreign viruses. Everybody's in the circle. That's what Amor means. So we're going to see some clips today, and we're going to see a disturbing clip, and we're going to see an ecstatic clip, and we're going to do Dharma, and we're going to sing, and we're going to dance. We're literally going to dance today. We're going to dance the fear into outrageous love. We're going to become, as we already are in this very moment, the unique self symphony. And each of us knows, oh my God, that we have outrageous acts of love to commit that no one that ever was, is, or will be could possibly commit. That we are desperately needed, that no one's extra. Wow. Are you ready? Are you ready? Friends, are we ready? Are you ready? Are we ready to play a larger game? Because that's what the coronavirus demands. Are we ready to play a larger game? Are we ready to counteract the contagion of foreign viruses, which is the belief that they're foreign, with the evolution of love, which is the knowing that there's no boundary consciousness, that there's one world, and there's one heart, and there's one global body, and there's one Mother Earth, and there's one love, and that no one's ever left outside of the circle. Oh my God, that is the contagion, right? That is the virus, right? Social distancing needs to be transmuted into a social virus of outrageous love. Are we ready? Are you ready to be a carrier of the virus? Not to be infected, but to be affected. To be affected by this moment, not just to figure out how to get the supplies that I need in this moment to make it through, because that's actually to participate in the plague. Are we ready to heal what Wilhelm Reich called the emotional plague of man? And to heal the murder of Eros. And the murder of Eros is, I become me by leaving you outside of the circle. I become me by asserting power over you instead of actually, right, empowering each one of us, right, to be our gorgeous, radical, homo amor, evolutionary, unique self. Are you ready to be not infected, but affected, and to become a social virus? Are you ready to be a carrier, right, of the virus of outrageous love, right? Are you ready? If you're ready, I'm ready with you. We're ready together. There's no you, there's no I, there's we. Are we ready? So if we're ready, let's shout it out so the world can hear it. Let's shout it out, right? So there's no human being in the world who feels alone in this moment, right? We are ready. We are ready. We are ready to be the social virus. We are ready to be infected, right, by outrageous love. And what do you do? What do you do? What are the symptoms of being infected and affected by that, right, social virus of outrageous love? What are the symptoms? There are symptoms. You can recognize them. You start feeling hot and feverish, but you're feverish with love. It's love fever is moving through you, right? And you start feeling beyond your narrow skin encapsulated ego, and tears begin to roll down your cheeks at the unbearable intimacy of a planetary awakening in love through unique self symphonies. And when we don't actually experience the genuine intimacy of the planet, then we're forced into an intimacy against our will. And that intimacy then forces us into social distancing. And the way we transmute that, the way we overcome it is we become the virus, right? So ready? Are you ready to do this? Are we ready to enter the fear and transmute it? So are you ready to go all the way? So let's see if we can go all the way here. You ready? right? Can you write this? I'm going to write this. I'll do it first. I am the virus. I am the virus, right? I am the virus of outrageous love, right? It's me. I am the virus of outrageous love. That's who I am. Amor, right? Its insides are lined with love. I am the virus of outrageous love. And I am going to infect every one of my neighbors. And I'm going to affect everyone all over the planet. And I'm going to heal the global intimacy disorder by being an outrageous lover. An outrageous lover is not incidental. It's not a joke. It's not a fundamentalist or new age slogan. It's the essence of who I am. Who am I? Right? Who are you? Who are we? Right? Are you ready? Right? Right? You are an irreducibly unique expression. You're an irreducibly unique virus. You're an irreducibly unique expression of the love beauty and the love desire and the love intelligence that itself is the initiating and animating virus eros of all that is, that lives in you. I am the virus. Shout it out. Shout it out. I am the virus that lives in you, as you, and through you. That never was, is, or will be ever again other than through you. And as such, the symptoms of the virus are, I have outrageous acts of love to commit. And I'm going to affect my whole neighborhood. And I'm going to infect everyone. You know? Bill Maher, my dear friend Bill Maher, late night says, why do we have to touch people? Why are we touching people? Why? We shouldn't be touching people anyways. Bill, sweet man, give me a hug, brother, okay? I want to infect you with outrageous love. It's beyond a kind of narrow conservative or liberal divide, right? As you in every one of your shows make all the Trump people the horrible other. There are no others here, right? And I'm going to give you the hugest hug in the world. And Donald, what are you doing, man? Give me a hug. Okay, right? Right? Yeah, social distancing, of course. We're going to, of course, hold all of the medical protocols. But actually, there is no other. Right? There is no us, them. Right? That's an illusion. Bill Maher, brother, you know why we touch each other? Because actually, at the very core of reality is a desire to touch and be touched. And I'm not talking about sexual touching. I'm talking about eros. I'm talking about we want to touch each other's hearts. We want to touch each other's minds. We want to touch each other's souls. And what we've done is we've created entire realms of the world in which people are untouchable. Right? Those are the people who are at the edges of society, at the margins. What we need to do is understand that actually the only natural selection in this moment in the world today is the natural selection of evolutionary love, in which no one's outside of the circle, in which we actually take care of the weak and we take care of the vulnerable. And we take care of the weak and the vulnerable in ourselves. And do you know why we make other people untouchable? Do you know why, Brother Terry? I'll tell you a secret. You know why, Oriana? Right? Do you know why, Mark? Can I tell you? Can I share with you? We make other people untouchable because we've made parts of ourselves untouchable. Because we've split off parts of ourselves. We've split off the dignity of our desire. We've split off the largeness of who we are. We've split off, right, from our sense of superpowers. We've split off from our sense of grandeur and gorgeousness. We've made ourselves so small. We're untouchable to ourselves. And when we become untouchable to ourselves, the anxiety, the discomfort, our clothes don't fit. So we make other people untouchable. So we give ourselves the illusion that we're inside the circle by placing other people outside of the circle. And the way we heal this is we say, I am the virus. Who's ready to be the virus? Who's ready to be the virus? We want to touch every heart on the planet. And right now, we're not talking it, we're being it. Feel it coursing through you. Feel it exploding in your heart, right? It's the holy and it's the broken. Hallelujah, right? And we bring it all to each other. And we lay it all on the altar of evolutionary love. Because we're here to reclaim love as religion and to enact a politics of love. And it's only a politics of love that can respond to the coronavirus. And a politics of love is not about the stock market. It's about no one being outside of the circle. That's the only story. So let's go into the holy and the broken hallelujah. The Amor chant we'll get to later. Right now, let's have our dear and beloved friend, right, take us inside, right, to the holy and the broken hallelujah, the hymn that we do every week. And let's sing every word and let's shout it out and let's be it. Take us inside.
Now I've heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. 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 Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty and the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to a kitchen chair, she broke your throne and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew the hallelujah. 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 You say I took the name in vain. I don't even know the name. But if I did, well really, what's it to you? There's a blaze of light in every word. It doesn't matter which you heard, the holy or the broken. Hallelujah. 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 I did my best. It wasn't much. I couldn't feel, so I tried to touch. I've told the truth. I didn't come to fool you. And even though it all went wrong, I'll stand before the Lord of song with nothing on my tongue but hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Are we ready? Right? Crisis is, we're going to pray. Okay, we're going to come to the chat box. Crisis is an evolutionary driver. We're going to pray. We're going to offer Corona prayer. So if you've got a Corona prayer, right, offer it up. Pray for yourself. Pray for your neighbor. Pray for your friend. Pray for someone across the world. But let's become prayer. I am prayer. Right? Terry, I pray my mom feel loved and important today on her 97th birthday, even while locked in her senior home. Right? That's a Corona prayer. Give me a Corona prayer. Right? That I will infect and affect with outrageous love, says Shahati, right? As the social virus, every person that I meet, the holy and the broken. Hallelujah, Denise, Melina, I am prayer. Corona prayers. Let Corona prayers leave and rock through. Right? I pray that Kaleido Silver, right, will actually, right, end the virus. Mitchell, thank you, brother. Right? David, right, that we all feel safe and protected, that we all are safe and protected. Ashley, I pray to be a strong light worker through this moment. Right, Tina, I am prayer. David, I pray that I'm affected by outrageous love, that I can infect everyone I touch with my heart. Mike, I pray to infect the world with love. William, I pray my wife stays safe as this wave comes through. Right, Claire, I'm praying to become more contagious with outrageous love every day till the day I die. Denise, I am living prayer. Liam, I pray for myself and everyone to break through the fear and infect the world with outrageous love. We are the virus. I pray that we lead with love genuinely. Right, Tom, I pray for the well-being of all those whose livelihood is threatened by this virus and who are in fear of not having basic necessities, and that no one should feel that basic necessities belong to me. Right? My basic necessities are yours. We come together around the fire. We come together around the fire of outrageous love. Oriana, I pray that all contract, right, the virus. They learn of the greater love that heals their soul. I pray that everyone who contracts the virus has a vaccine and is safe, right, and is alive, and that we open our hearts. Veronica, I pray that I'll receive the inspiration of the urgency of this time to use my voice as a leader for peace. Amen. Jacqueline, I pray that the virus of outrageous love will infect everyone. Paul, Inika, Utz, Suzette, right? Randall, Krista, I pray for my sister Tina. I pray that love counteracts the virus. I am infectious, right, says Rhoda, right? Come get it right now. Joyce, I pray for unity in our enforced isolation. I pray to know that we're not alone. Lynn, right? Most, I pray we grow as a species, right? Can you feel it? Right? Nathan, I pray for people see how we are one love, one heart. Okay, and no one's outside of the circle. So we're gonna take a hard ride now, okay? You ready? So I wanna take you, right, to the source of the coronavirus. I wanna take you inside all the way. So give us that clip, Kirsten, right? Give us that clip of the longer clip, right? We'll talk about where we stop it, but stay with me. Here's where the coronavirus started, and I want you to stay with me, okay, for a second. If you've ever eaten lamb chops, okay, the succulent, beautiful lamb chops, and you forget that lamb chops means that we take a lamb, and the lion's not lying down with the lamb, and we fatten that lamb, and we hold that lamb in a cage for several months in order for it to grow fat so I can have one moment of fleeting pleasure eating the lamb chop. Now in China, in the Wuhan district, which is where the coronavirus started, right? And the Chinese have done a fabulous job of outrageous love and of actually engaging the virus. But where it started in the Wuhan district is because there were so many poor people that couldn't actually afford food that was well prepared. And animals were placed outside of the circle of intimacy. Animals ceased to exist and animal suffering ceased to matter, right? And proper regulation for the poor ceased to be an issue because we were too busy surging forward, right? So I want to see that clip, right? Kirsten, take us into that clip. Can you feel that? That clip goes on and it gets worse and worse, right? Right, we live in a world of outrageous pain. And outrageous pain happens when I place somebody else out of the circle, or I place part of myself out of the circle. You know, right now, we have to come together and hold hands. But I want to go deeper because holding hands in this moment has got to lead to something more. So can we feel this together? Let's walk through the steps together. Okay, let's find our way in. We live in a world of outrageous pain, and outrageous pain is the crisis of reality today. And the crisis of reality is a crisis of intimacy that we've called a global intimacy disorder. And we've been talking about that every week here for the last 180 weeks. And Barbara and I have been in this conversation together with you and with many of you for years, for a decade or 2 decades. And we're coming together to tell a new story, which is a weaving together of different parts into a larger whole, which is a new story of the new human and the new humanity. But let's take it step by step. The crisis of intimacy means that someone's left out of the circle. Intimacy means shared identity in the context of otherness. You're an other. I recognize the dignity of your otherness, and your otherness expresses itself in your uniqueness. And yet I understand that we have shared identity. So if you hurt, I hurt. When I split off from that shared identity, then intimacy fails and we have a crisis of intimacy. Intimacy means, and let's find it so deep together, intimacy means shared identity in the context of otherness, plus mutuality of recognition, we recognize each other, plus mutuality of pathos, we feel each other, right? And that leads, right, to our ability to have a mutuality of purpose. We're part of the largest story, the greatest story that ever was, the story of life, emergent here, alive, dancing towards ever greater levels, as Alfred North Whitehead wrote, of beauty, of truth, and of goodness. We're here on this earth because evolution has a trajectory. Evolution has a purpose, it has a direction, not a fundamentalist purpose, not a purpose owned by one religion, but actually an inherent purpose. We move from bacteria to Bach, from mud to Mozart. We move to ever higher levels of beauty, and beauty comes from the diversity of contrasts when we're all holding hands and we're all part of the story. Now, there's an evolution of love, and that evolution of love more and more is included in the circle. So as long as I'm egocentric, it's just me, I'm going for my survival during the coronavirus and I can't feel anyone else, that's the crisis of intimacy itself. Right? And if I'm just, right, ethnocentric, let's make America great again. It's a foreign virus. That's not enough. I got to make America great. Ethnocentric is beautiful. And I want to make Europe great. And I want to make Asia great. And I want New Zealand to be great. And we're all in our unique greatness. And every nation and every continent is playing their instrument in the unique self-symphony. But it's not just world-centric. We got to go from egocentric intimacy, right, to ethnocentric intimacy, in which we're all playing our unique self-instrument in the great unique self-symphony. But then we need to go to world-centric intimacy, every human being on the face of the planet. But that's not enough, friends. We got to go to cosmocentric intimacy, which means every human being and every animal. And it means that every creature, that all of life, that no suffering is outside of the circle. And when we take the most vulnerable among us in Wuhan, China, and in Brooklyn, New York, and in Salinas, California, right, and in Montana, right, and in Bangladesh, right, and in the north of France, right, and in the tragedies in Great Britain today, right, any place in the world, we take the most vulnerable among us and we say, feed yourself on animals that are slaughtered in front of you, whose pain is unbearable. Then we are infected with unlove. And that unlove incarnates, that unlove expresses itself, right, as contagion of the most tragic form. Kan means we come together, right? Contagion literally can be the contagion, the coming together of beauty, right? The coming together of love. But contagion becomes a deadly virus when contagion is the placing of suffering outside the circle. So it's not just that we have to restore intimacy. That's not going to do it, right? We can't heal this global intimacy disorder by restoring intimacy. You understand that? Because we've never actually experienced an intimacy. It's not about a return to a mythic past, right? Religion's always talked about a return to a mythic past, right? Before the original sin. No, And it's not about be here now, right? The timeless present, although that's important and that's sacred, but it's about being called by the future. It's time to actually enact a metaphysics of the future. We're called by the memory of the future. You know, there's two kinds of evil, friends. There's evil by intention, but there's also evil by monotony, right? It's Alfred North Whitehead's phrase, evil by monotony. It's evil by banality. It means I'm involved in my narrow circle. I'm going about business as usual, and nothing stops business as usual. Did you get that, friends? Right? It's time to stop business as usual, right? It's time to actually enact the future. And we here at One Church, Many Paths, One Mountain, and every single group, it's not we here, right? It's every single group around the world, every individual around the world who's a carrier of this social virus of outrageous love, which says that I'm not just a separate self, I'm a unique self, I'm a unique virus of outrageous love. I'm a novel emergent, right? What's a virus? It's a novel pathogen, right? But actually what each one of us is a novel pathos. We're a novel experience of feeling. We're a unique expression of feeling. We taste different. Each one of us tastes, right, in a way that's unlike any other. We're each our own version of strawberry ice cream. We're each an ice cream sundae intended by divinity, right? We're not an accident. Evolution operates through surprise within the context of a larger movement, and it's a movement towards ever greater and ever deeper and ever wider intimacy. Means my shared identity gets wider. First, I include all the parts of myself that I've left out. Then I include all the people in my immediate circle that I've written off. And then I widen my circle beyond my egocentric, thrive, survive circle, and I include, a larger people, a larger tribe. Then I include all the people in those tribe, right, who aren't cool and they're not, sophisticated the way, and they don't look the way I think they should, and they don't smell exactly right. I include everybody in the tribe. Everyone's in. We're all in the tribe. And then we move beyond the tribe and we say, oh my God, there are no foreign viruses. Every human being on the planet, right, is inside, right? Live Aid concert, 1985, Lionel Richie, thank you, right? We are the world. Then we realize that's not enough, because we are the world only if we understand we're an emergent of the entire story. And the entire story includes the oceans, and includes the coral reefs, and includes the dogs and the snakes in Wuhan, China, and it includes the 700,000 people in the United States who are about to write off food stamps. And it includes in 21 days, just a couple of years ago, in 21 days, there were 13 school shootings. Why are children killing each other? But we all go, right? That children are killing each other. That's dystopia. But you know what's even more dystopian? That everyone just went around business as usual. That school shootings can become business as usual. Children picking up AK-47 assault rifles and killing each other, business as usual. The opioid crisis. Or what's the opioid crisis in America, in Europe, in Asia? It means it's so brutal. I feel so alone, right? I feel so alone, right? We're not doing social distancing now. Social distancing now is to heal. But actually, social distancing has been happening all over in the last decades, right? We got to actually change social distancing from the inside. We got to find each other and touch each other now more deeply than we ever did before. There are no untouchables, right? There's no untouchable part of myself, and there's no untouchable part of you. And I can bring everything, my holy and my broken hallelujah, right into the circle, right? Nothing's left out, right? Can we feel that? Can we feel that? Oh my God. Can we sing that? Can we sing that like beyond imagination? Let's take a look at Italy. Let's see what Italy feels like at night. This is the response, right? Italy at night. Let's see Italy at night, and we'll see Italy during the day maybe for a second. But first, Italy at night. This is the response to the Wuhan clip. This is the response of people coming together and holding hands and raising our voices together in a unique self-symphony.
Bianche
That dog was barking for all her brothers and sisters in the Wuhan market. No one's outside of the circle. Okay, like, oh my God. So we're going to turn in a second to Krista, who's just going to invite us and tell us how to join, how to be part of this. And join in any way you can. And we're going to be together and we're going to walk through this together every Sunday. And if need be, right, we'll do more. We'll create a time during the week where we meet and we chant and we tell stories. Right, there's a writing workshop, which is just a gift to everyone. Come together and write outrageous love letters. Let's come together and commit outrageous acts of love. Krista's going to show us our outrageous acts of love page. What we just saw in Italy was people meeting through social media, and people all over Italy, right, at one moment began to sing. They're going to do it again tonight. That's Unique Self Symphony, but it's not enough. See, it's not enough. Italy has been completely destroyed by corruption and by fascism. It's not enough to come together and sing just in a moment. We have to have actually a shared score. And a shared score is a shared story. And a shared story is the realization that we are each irreducible, unique selves, and that no one is extra. There are no extras on the set. And that our love lists are too short. And that we've got to actually commit outrageous acts of love. And that I am the virus. Okay? Can you feel that? Can you hear that? There's only one question. The question is, oh my God, hey brother, hey sister, is there anything for you that I wouldn't do? So we're going to end with Avicii today. But first I want to turn to Lady Krista and just tell us, right, how do we take this inside? How do we join? How do we become part of this? Now on Monday, is that right, Christina? Dr. Kincaid and Christina Tahel, I think it's this Monday, right? You'll tell us, right, is the workshop, the writing workshop. Everybody's madly welcome. And next week, we may do an expanded church. We're going to do a memorial for Barbara in a couple of weeks. Barbara's going to be with us. But let's come together, one church, many paths, one mountain. And we'll meet as often as we need to. But for now, we're going to meet next week. We're going to find each other, right? Invite your friends, right? Let's make this rock reality, right? Not this particular organizational structure, right? But the one love, the one heart that beats in us, right? And as us and through us. We're going to be the virus. We're going to be the contagion. Do you understand? You can't walk away from the contagion. There's no way to isolate and to quarantine. We have to physically isolate, right? At these particular moments in order to join our hearts. We have to physically quarantine in order to come together. We have to social distance in order to actually realize that we already are a unique self-symphony, a planetary awakening in love. There's a tendency now in the world to move towards the authoritarian. Never let that happen. It's actually the bottom-up, self-organizing, unique self-symphony of human beings committing outrageous acts of love and bringing everyone and anyone, every person, every part of myself, every animal, into the circle. It allows us to join hands and become that outrageous love symphony, which is the evolution of love itself. We are the virus. I turn the word to Krista.
Yes, wow, thank you. We are the virus, and our response to suffering and outrageous pain is outrageous love. And therefore, we will commit our outrageous acts of love. And I'm going to show you now the 3 ways that we are committing our outrageous acts of love. And the first one is we write outrageous love letters. And we can write these outrageous love letters to ourselves, to a part of ourselves, to a friend, to God, to each other. But actually, we can also write an outrageous love letter to the coronavirus. And the second way is we write an outrageous love letter in which we tell a story of an outrageous act of love. So all the stories that we see now, the videos, and we share them on our Facebook page that I will show you in a minute. Third way is to write an outrageous love letter in which you tell the story of an outrageous act of love that someone that you know committed. And we share all of these beautiful, heart-touching stories on our Facebook page. And I will show you where it is. So this is our Facebook page, and as you can see, many people are already sharing their outrageous love stories. I can scroll up a bit so you can see them. There's videos, there's stories. Also, the Italian video is on here. And it's important if you go to this page to click on community here on the left, this is where everybody can post and we can read each other's stories. But all of the posts will also be reposted on this homepage, and our admins can only post there. So if you want to read everything, please click on homepage. So there's another invitation for you to step in, because we really need you here in One Church as well. All of us are needed. And it's important to know that this One Church is for all of us, and we are all volunteers co-creating this unique self-symphony together. So all of the money that we do receive is invested in growing our church together. So if you want to step up and make a contribution, we really appreciate that. And you can go here, click on membership, and you can choose to make a one-time donation, but you can also choose to step in even deeper and become a member of church. You can choose your own unique contribution here. And if you do decide to become a member, you will get access to our online community and to these 9 courses that will invite you to dive deeper into the Dharma. There's Awakening Unique Self Symphony, Reclaiming Eros, Outrageous Love. So this is what you will receive if you step in and become a member. And we also have our study group, Outrageous Act of Love Writing. I will first give my word back to you, Mark. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. Thank you so much, Lady Krista. Christina Amelon, when is our workshop? When does that happen?
It happens at 1 o'clock Central, 11 o'clock Pacific.
Okay, so everyone's invited. It was fantastic and gorgeous last week. Okay, so friends, right? Friends, Romans and not Romans, countrymen, let's lend each other our ears, right? Oh my God, right? Can you feel that? Right? The reason these courses matter is because it's not, I love, oh my God, Viva Italia, right? We love Italy, and let's sing it together, but it's not enough. We actually have to evolve the source code. We can't restore intimacy. The intimacy we're talking about never existed. And so we actually have to articulate, it's a Da Vinci moment. We're at a time between stories. And friends, I want to say the last word. As we go to Avicii and we just blow the roof off together, where we take the lid off, we make a commitment. Barbara, how did you say it all the time? We make a commitment to go all the way in this lifetime, right? The fear of death lurks at the door. And we'll just take our last minute. The fear of death lurks at the door. The fear of death is actually the fear of not having lived and the fear of not having loved, of not having lived fully and loved fully, of not having been my irreducible unique self, not having played my instrument in the unique self symphony. In this moment of coronavirus, we transform the virus by being the virus, by being the virus of unique self, by being the virus of the new story, by being the virus of the new story, by being the virus of the unique self symphony, right? And we got to tell this story together. It's a Da Vinci moment. It's a time between stories. And I just want to say, just so gently, right? But so soberly, right? So soberly, so gently, so tenderly. Existential risk is real. The second shock of existence is real. Like Da Vinci in the Renaissance, we literally live in this time between worlds. And the only response can be not a top-down authoritarianism, right? Like we're seeing in Great Britain, like we're seeing in the United States, like we're seeing in Brazil, like we're seeing in Venezuela, like we're seeing in Russia, like we're seeing in China, like we're seeing in Turkey, like we're seeing in the Philippines. That's a regression to authoritarianism that violates intimacy at the deepest possible level. The only way we can transform this virus and the viruses that are to come is not by going to heaven above, but by going to the heaven that's up ahead in the future, by becoming the memory of the future, by being the new Dharma, by enacting and writing the great library and telling the new story, and doing it as deeply as it's ever been done before, bringing together all the sciences, interior and exterior, and actually weaving together in this Da Vinci moment this new story, what it means to be a human being, what it means to participate in humanity, together with our brothers and sisters in the animal world, to realize its sentience, its life, all the way up and all the way down. We're ready. We're ready to be the virus. We're ready to be it together. There's nothing for you, animal, dog, human being, rich, poor, that I wouldn't do.